Well, these little guys turned out pretty cool. I enjoyed doing a video on these. Kind of nice. I still guess I gotta do something on this one down the road, making it a full Sega unit. But, man, do they ever run hot! I wonder if there's something I could do to make them run a lot cooler. Like, I'm sure the performance must be hurt when they get hot. Like, it's got to, like, change stuff. I remember about 5 hours of playing on this one, and wow, I could barely touch it. And I thought, man, there's got to be something. What? Huh. The ultimate cooling fan kit for the Raspberry Pi 3, 2, and B+. Where did that come from? From GeekPi. High-level open source hardware. Let's unbox it. Comes in a static bag. There's some sort of instructions, because you gotta have instructions. Oh, there's a copper heatsink here. And a bunch of, I guess, adhesive. Well, this is pretty cool. Twin fans. And the plug-in, I guess, to go onto the Pi. Now, from what I remember, this only works with the Pi 2, 3, and B. Not the 3B+. I think that's because the motherboard layout changes. Let's see what this says. Oh, cool. So the heatsink is actually for the bottom. So it's an added piece to cool down a chip that's on the bottom of the Pi. That's kind of neat. Let's try this out. So remember, like I said, when you're tightening your screws, never over tighten them, because once you do that, it's ruined. When you're taking them out, make sure you have the right screwdriver, especially when you can't see the screws, because in the end, you'll just have a strip screw and a problem and never get it out. Keep forgetting, this thing had 6 screws, not 4. Oop. Well, that's apart. Hey everyone, I figured it out now. I understand what was going on here with the fan header, and it uses the same pins, I think it's 4 and 6, that the switch uses, the power switch and the reset button, but they added it right here. So if you look on the board, you'll see that they added the 2 pins right here for the fan header, so we're golden. So this case was well thought of. The person who designed all this, A1. So now I'm going to remove the board, because they gave a copper heatsink to go on the bottom for the RAM. So I thought that was kind of neat. One thing I'm going to try and check out with this case is if I can put, I already took my heat sinks off, if I can put this heatsink on the RAM. If I can do that, then I won't use this. So let's see, because if there's space underneath. So let's check it out. Goes here. Let's lay this on, see what happens. I don't think we're gonna have room, but let's see. We can use the heatsink. That is awesome. So let's put those screws back in. So the difference between the copper and the aluminum heatsink is copper is a slower but better conductive heat dissipator. Aluminum is a fast removal of dissipation of the heat. Now what I could have done is I could have put the copper heatsink on, then the aluminum heatsink, and that probably would have actually made for a better removal of heat, but I don't think I'd have room. So let's put this back on where it belongs. It came with two, I mentioned earlier, two sets of thermo, I'm going to call it thermo compound, but it's also the double adhesive that puts this fan system onto these chips. It comes with thin, and it comes with a thicker one. Do not use the thin one unless you're definitely strapped for space. In this case, you are not. The thin one could cause metal to touch parts of your board, and it could be disastrous. Now, if it's the right size, it shouldn't happen because it should be insulated. But because it's so thin, I'm going to use the thick one. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this piece. There we go. It's always best to just take it, lay it down while you still have this here on, so you're not going to do anything. If you can see me doing it here, and just apply pressure evenly without pressing on the fan blades. So now we have this definitely on there really good. Let's peel this off. And now what you want to do, you have two chips in here. 1, 2. You want to make sure that this goes on perfectly and covers those chips. And you have a good, even... There we go. That looks awesome. Now, positive is on the outside pin facing the front of the unit. So we plug it in with red facing out. And there you have it. The ultimate cooling system for the Raspberry Pi 2, 3, B+. I do not think this works for the newest Pi, as I think there's some other chips in it, but I'll verify that later, because that would be really cool if this fan can be used for everything. I can, offer this fan out for all options. I will add a link. I bought this off Amazon for about $12 delivered, Prime, and that's Canadian, so you guys in the States will probably pay $10 or less for it. And yeah, this is it. I think it's the ultimate cooling system for this. If this works out the way I want, I'll add it to my Genesis Mini. So there you have it, guys. So again, it took up the pin headers where the power switch and reset switch plugged in, but the boys at NestPi did add a fan header here off the board that powers your USB ports. So that was brilliant. I've already tested to see if the case goes on without any interference because of the height. So there's lots of height here. You don't need to worry about that. It looks great. I think this is a pretty cool product. I'm going to test and see how loud it is and how cool the system runs. So give me a minute to check all that out. I'll let it run for about 30 minutes. Be right back after the few messages from our proud sponsor. I don't have any sponsors, so don't worry about it. Be right back. Alright guys, so there you have it. I've been running this now for about a half hour. Was playing a few games. I left it powered up, and as you can see, it's still powered. So you can hear nothing. Listen to this thing. It is super quiet. So it's not adding any crazy noise or anything like that to your unit, which I was a little worried about being smaller fans and a high RPM. It is honestly ice cold, guys. This thing was running so hot. Now it's running so cool. I mean, there's no heat at all. It's dissipating this heat fast. And the bonus was, like I said, from your kit with the aluminum heat sinks that I had talked about, the smaller one with this case does go on the RAM chip on the bottom, so you do not need to use the copper. You can use the heat sink. So that's underneath on my board, so adding the extra coolness. There was one little issue with this case. I will show you. Because of they had a fan clip-in or unit or a screw-in. I had to break this tab off as it was hitting the fan. No biggie. I'm going to use this over any other fan anyway. This is only sending air into the case, circulating heat. This is moving heat off your product. I've been doing PC gaming and builds on custom computers for all my life. This is the right way to do it. This machine is running ice, baby. That was weird. So guys, till next time, please share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tell your friends about it. There will be a lot more cool builds and different things going on. I will try to be building what I'm going to call the super console for my living room sometime in the near future. And I can't wait to see what that turns out like. So, till next time guys, it's all fun and games.